back to the Hall of Game podcast. I am your host, O'Shea Duke Jackson. And what we do is this is a show that's dedicated towards African American men who are trying to move up the corporate ladder. You're African American man trying to get into some of the industries, teching, the trades, or tech. If you're African American looking to switch careers, professional school, we cover all of those ins and outs, interview tips, resumes. Again, we do this for our people that are coming up in America, African American. I mean, we cater this to you, right? Those brothers out there that are looking to elevate their game, elevate their energy levels, and dealing with real life situations. We do have some brothers that are in the UK that support the podcast. There's some brothers that are watching from South Africa, so we definitely appreciate all the other brothers from the other parts of the diaspora. And we bring in all kind of talented people, coaches. We bring in brothers with MBAs, medical doctors, brothers who are millionaires, entrepreneurs. We bring the best that we can bring to African American men. And today's topic, how to deal with other jealous black men and shady business partners. Now we'll do a sequel dealing with micromanaging managers, annoying coworkers. But today we're talking about dealing with other brothers, right? Because that's a big problem in the African American community. Let me do this, brother Tanger Ray. Thank you for the $10 super chat. And if you brothers do want to support the show, make sure you come in and like the video, share the video. And we have so far with us our brother Hassani Ali. I'll let my brother introduce himself. Shout out to Dr. Dick and Eric P. Dr. Dick, brother Hassani, go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
As always, Hassani Ali from the D, your marriage coach, blogger, and advocate, writer of the Negro Manosphere, and we'll be launching my YouTube channel on Monday, and looking to get into this because this one's going to be a fun one.
All right. Shout out to brother Asquith Allen out in Canada. Brother Sam I think he was in Brazil, but I think he's back. Good to see brother Mason in the building. And then I believe brother Maurice Novembri out of the Atlanta area is trying to get on. What's up, brother Black Caesar? But seems like he's having a hard time connecting, but he will be on soon. And Maurice is the original brother of the Hall of Game. But while he's trying to connect, brother Hassani, here he is right here. Brother Maurice Novembri, go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
What's up, y'all? This is my name is Marvin Novembri. I am a digital product designer by day, creative director, and entrepreneurial by night. And I'm here to jump in and participate in any way I can.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you, man.
All right. Now I do want to do it. Yeah. Oh yeah. You got to get you. So shout out to brother Maurice. You guys know he created the Black Men Are Perfect template. He also touched up the King Ghana logo. He does a lot. He created the Black Heights logo. So he does a lot of work for a lot of people in Black YouTube as far as digital design. Brothers, I want to talk about this, right? Because I've done a show, for Black men that are younger and have elevated their game. One of the aspects I'm going to talk about this is like jealous Black men, friends or family, jealous. Oh, shoot. Dr. Tony, thank you, Uncle Tony, for the $99.99. Boy, Tony, he been selling them collard green sandwiches, brother. Thank you, brother, for the support. All the support. But I want to talk about that's normal for Tony Davis. He's a good brother out of the South Carolina area. I want to talk to you, brother Hassani. Is a lot of time as Black men when we are elevating and coming from different environments. Some brothers are coming from, parts of Africa, maybe parts of Haiti. But some of us, we're coming from the Detroits of the world, places with low expectations. And then we go into the different spots. And a lot of times we come into places where we're dealing with Black men with the same talent level, right? But sometimes it might be some jealousy from brothers that might be a little older, right? And I want to ask you about that. Like, have you ever been in a situation where, a guy may actually be a little more accomplished than you? He's also Black. He might have a lot more going than you, but for whatever reason, there seems to be some jealousy there. We always know about the jealousy coming from the have-nots, but what about the jealousy from those that have? Have you ever experienced that before?
In some ways, yes, because a lot of brothers have the idea that you're coming for their spot. We don't have the abundance mindset, and you see it amongst your your community church leaders, politicians, community activists, those type of folks, where you've had, this is your reign. People come to you all the time for advice and to come speak and to be the face of the community. So when you see the younger brother coming up and doing what he's doing, you look like you look at your clock and your countdown is ticking. You're like, in a matter of moments, that brother's gonna take my spot. I need to hold on to this as much as I can. And for a lot of us brothers, we don't have a lot of power in any other sectors. So the power that we do have in whatever communities that we are in, we tend to hold on to them for dear life.
You dropped too much knowledge, brother. Can you say it again?
Whatever,
it was too much knowledge being dropped.
Whatever little power, and this is for our brothers who are on the come up as well, is that whenever we get power in any little sector that we in, we hold on to it for dear life. If we secure something in the church community, we don't want to branch out and try to get some power in the political community or in the business community. Whatever we have, that's our reign, because that's where we can speak and be heard and be some sort of a reverence to whoever's in that community. So when you see a younger person on the come up, then you're looking at your days as numbered.
And to chime in, and I want to kind of come at it from the other side, and be more empathetic to why a person might be doing that. And we kind of see it play out currently in the last couple of weeks on YouTube with the Black Manosphere. A lot of Black men has baggage coming into new male relationships. I know I have. And at times, you've done the effort early to bring men into your space, to help, to mold, to build with, to not to only have that thing torn asunder by those same men, but to have you attacked and broken down as well. So you get to a point where you can only take so much as that as a human being. And you kind of get guarded and you got a little baggage with you. And then you start walking into situations where there's a lack of there's a place of mistrust with the men that look like you because of your past experiences, uncles, fathers. I mean, my bad experiences with Black men started with my father and my uncle, where we got cheated out of $2,500 for doing work for my uncle, and that was when I was 8 years old. And you see this pattern of dysfunctional behavior when it comes to business amongst us. So I'm more empathetic to it, and I always try to make an effort to kind of build the trust first before we get into any business together, because I know there's some baggage there with all of us, right? So that's the way I treat my relationship with men in the manosphere. If I come short, I acknowledge it. If I'll drop a ball on something, I give an apology. I'm not perfect. I am working on it, but I think ideally we're all in a place of trauma and healing, and we can't approach each other in a normal business way. There needs to be a level. There needs to be a level of vetting and venting and trust building first before I can jump into bed with anybody professionally. And I don't. And here's another thing I'm learning also. If I'm done dirty by a particular individual, I can't carry that into the next relationship. I gotta cut ties and start fresh.
Brother, you gotta spin that back. You dropped too much game on him. You have to spin that back. Black folks is hard of hearing, brother.
Right. I'm gonna say it one more again. Just because I had a bad relationship with the Black men in my past doesn't mean I need to take that baggage into my new relationships. I gotta be mature enough. And in a spiritual sense, usually this is where I'm pulling most of my energy from, to understand that person came into my life for a reason. I had to learn something from him, and then I have to let that person go and get ready for the next person. A difficult thing to do when it comes to money, time, resources. Very difficult. Very difficult. I've lost I can count, man. I've lost over $30,000 to $40,000 of working with black men.
Okay.
$30,000 to $40,000, and to this day, I haven't let that go, and always come into every relationship like a fresh start, and you just gotta come to terms with it. That's where we are right now as a community. That's where we are. We'll be better later, but we gotta. The people in our group, we got to set the foundations for our grandkids. So we're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit to make sure our grandkids and the great grandbabies are going to be doing good. But right now, it won't be business as usual, guys. It won't be.
Okay. Shout out to brother Keep It Techie. He said he's cooking the collard greens. He's not gonna be able to come on right now. Getting the microwave on. But let me go because I want to. Yeah. I want to go back to Sonny because one of the things that the brother Maurice said is before we're able to hop into a business relationship with black men, a lot of times we have to try to establish trust. I know we're jumping a little bit ahead, but I want to address this point and I want to go backwards. I want to get some commentary myself. You know, if we have brothers that are talented, how can we before establish some sort of trust with a brother before we try to go to the next level? Because like I said, I don't know you, you don't know me. How do we start to develop trust with a brother before we're able to come onto a business collaboration or to do something or bring something to the table? What do we do first?
O'Shea, that's just like dating. The first thing you do is you vet him. You vet that brother. You say, what are you about? What do you what's your background? What business are you in? Do you have any credible sources? You have to do your research. That's the number one issue where black men get duped because we fall for the lip service. We fall for the lip service for the brothers who say, I can produce X, Y, Z. But then when you look for the receipts, when you look for testimonials, when you look for word of mouth recommendations, you can't find any. But because his outward perception is he could be trusted, we take the risk. And so proper vetting will weed out a lot of brothers who are out for the okie doke, because a lot of good brothers who have potential and have talent are approached by predatory businessmen. You've heard it where brother proposed we'll go 50-50 on a project. You do all the work, you go above and beyond, and then when it's time to do his part, you're like, well, I'll do my part when we get the profits. And then once you get paid, you don't hear from them again. And so it's a lot of talented people get taken advantage of. So it's really a matter of vetting that individual and setting up contracts. You have to set up the contracts to say you are obligated to execute X, Y, Z legally. And if not, we're going to have to take this elsewhere. But because we do business on GP, as they say, we're expecting the brother to produce. And when we don't, that's why we want to get in our feelings about doing business with black men.
Let me say this, and shout out to brother Asquith, right? I want to just kind of jump into the conversation. You brothers are making a lot of good points. Turn your around me, read that later. One of the things that I noticed in dealing with us as black men, I got an email the other day. I get emails all the time. I get emails from guys who have books, guys who do this or that. One of the emails I got from a brother the other day, and it's no disrespect to the guy, and the guy's like, yo, man, I really love your show, man. You should have me come on your show so I could talk about my book or my movie. And I'm thinking about, I'm trying not to be mean or anything, right? Because this probably, the guy probably doesn't understand how business works. But you're messaging me. You want to use my platform to talk about your book. Number one, as if I don't have things to do. like already, which I do, right? I mean, even my Hall of Game shows, I can't even do them because the internet's not like. I'm gonna stop my day for somebody I don't even know you. I don't know you. This is the first time I'm talking to you. I have no idea who you are. And for me, I want to deal with brother with Asquith Allen saying you have a lot of black men who are just constitutive takers. When they try to come to somebody who already has something, they're always looking to take. I want to give you an example of what Brother Hassani Ali did and what Brother Maurice did. I'll start with Hassani. I'm gonna end with Maurice. Brother Hassani said, "Hey man, you know, I will see him. He would donate. He would give $5 here. He would support in the super chat, and then he emailed me, yo, this is me, blah blah blah. This is what I'd like to do. I already knew who he was because I knew when I saw Hassani, I would see him in the comments. I would see him participating. So he already built a rapport with me already. Okay. Now I want to talk about Maurice. Shout to cut to the chase. Maurice's brother I met from Obsidian's channel. And people ask to do stuff for me all the time, right? And you guys know I have the Kangana project. Dima tried to put together a Kangana logo and it wasn't that good. What Maurice did, Maurice emailed me, yo, I could hook this logo up for you. Then what he did was about a few days later, he actually just went and did it and said, here, this is what I did. He didn't even charge me for it, right? The logo was so good, I at least shot him some money. Then I went and told everybody that I could about Maurice, right? Because Maurice understands the value of, you know, this guy has a platform. I'm a digital that we can collaborate on this, but I want to give before I get, right? And now because of that, Maurice, how many people have you designed logos for in Black YouTube now?
Oh man, shoot, we're probably at number 6 right now, coming up on Sunday. Yeah.
Okay, so now his name will be ringing because the fact that he just gave, right? And what the problem with me is when you're dealing with black men, they don't want to come to the table with anything. And then if you don't do it, then here comes the jealous shit. It's you don't have nothing to offer, but then you get mad when nobody wants to fuck with you. Now, let me also kind of bag back and kind of get to the title of this show, right? Because jealous black men. A lot of times what I've understand is even in spaces like YouTube or spaces like business, you'll have a guy who's been in the business longer than you, but he doesn't do as well. Or, you know, you've been on the job shorter than he has. I mean, you guys have been in a situation, but you're excelling quicker than him. And then this guy tends to be jealous of you. And I do see that between, I'm not going to lie, younger, talented black men, I see that, and older black men. I want to tell black men something. If you're older brother, stop being jealous of younger black men. That's even going for myself. I'm old now. I'm 39, right? I feel like I'm a little old. If a brother like cut to the chase or somebody, they're doing something I'm not doing, maybe he understands something more than I do. But just to be hating on somebody because they're doing well, it doesn't make any sense. But I do want to go back to these, you know, shady business partners at the same time, and I go back to you, Hassani. You mentioned something that's so clear and concise. When you do a collaboration, number one, the person that always comes to the collaboration typically is the person that is in the most need, usually. And that's not bad. All right. I've leveraged like my brand, Kanganda, on other people's channels because they had a bigger audience and I figured I would get more experience. So then you know what the price for that was? It's free for the most part. Whenever you're trying to get to a larger audience, somebody has more authority, you can't put a price on that. You're contacting them. But the problem is like when the person tries to contact me on the collaborations or anybody, but they want you to do most of the work. And like you were saying, they don't want to do anything, but they want to eat off you. That's another problem that I have. And usually it's a no talent nigga. That's a lazy ass nigga that has nothing to offer, but he wants to take your talent and your resources and get you to do everything while he sit his ass home and do nothing but take credit for what you're doing. And I've been in that situation before. And I just got to tell you, brothers, like, if you're going to collaborate with other people, do the work. You know, like nothing will make a motherfucker hate you for we're on a business project and we're doing something and you're out partying and kicking it with the hoes and I'm here doing the project, and then when it's time to get paid, you want 50% of the money. That's how niggas get shot. Shout out to Dr. BOA. Great topic, brother. When any brother wins, I think we should all win or at least get positive reinforcement. Salute. Shout out to the brother BOA out of I think BOA in down South Alabama somewhere. Antoine Wade. Salute to the great bro. Oh, shit, I can't join tonight. Too much contribute. As I have my security, I guard vet everything I do before it gets in my personal business. Black men must stop being stingy or pay or offer something valuable. Thank you, my brother Antoine. Go to brother Hassani, and then we'll go to brother Maurice.
No, and Antoine hit it right on the head. Is that if you're going to a bigger platform, pay up. That's the only way you're going to get somebody's interest. Is if you want to collaborate and you have $500 to put down to say, hey, can I get on your live stream? Or, can I do this interview for $500? You put that down, people are listening. There have been times when my wife and I, when we were promoting our book, and we were around here in Detroit getting on radio stations, and people were like, we're drop $1,000, and you got an interview. You got to do it. I don't understand what is there to be conflicted about. Business costs. That's why you're in business. And so even if you don't have the money, you can say, hey, just like I've done for you, O'Shea, if I can't get anything right away, I volunteered writing for the Negro Manosphere. At least you put some skin. At least you put some skin in the game. Do something to show that you are serious about it, and you don't just want to be predatory. Trying to come off somebody being a parasite. That's not a good look for you. But if you put some type of, I don't want to say a down payment, but something to show some kind of equity to show that you want to put the work in, a person to be in a more advantageous mindset to say, okay, I don't know who he is, but he is investing towards this project or just putting money in my pocket. So he really must be passionate about what he wants to do. So I should take him somewhat serious. And if he's talented, I'll keep him around. And if not, we'll part ways. But when it comes to going to somebody who already has it, they don't need you. They've been doing well on their own as is. And if you're looking to eat off their platform, you got to put something down to equity to show that you're serious. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I had a great mentor.
All right, that's great.
I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Our brother put me on driving for him. It's been 2 years now, and I need a better paying job with benefits. At some point, I got to move on. They keep taking. That's why I always super chats and support. Some people always want things for free. Thank you, brothers, that always hold us down with the super chats. I definitely appreciate you. Tangeray, none people are perfect. The gender doesn't matter. Their character does. I think. Maurice, so you're saying that black men ain't perfect, but women are. And also, I like to see the new guys coming in supporting, right? I don't like to see the same people. Like if you're a brother that you enjoy the content, it's not a problem for you to put up $2-3. Like I said, it's always the same people, right? And if you're a person that likes the content, there's a dollar sign, nigga. Go ahead on and support it, because if you ain't gonna support it, the white man ain't gonna support it. So nigga, give me all your money. All right, go ahead, brother Maurice.
Yeah, I had a mentor of mine who's very wealthy, kind of teach me something very valuable maybe a couple of years ago when it comes to understanding your position in the game. And the money or the offering of a gift or money or services is an admiration to the person that you're coming to, that you understand who you are in that relationship. You're the teacher, I'm the student, and let me make an offering to you in this relationship. And I don't think we black men get that at times, because I think we get caught up in the monetary quick return, but we don't actually do anything to cultivate the relationship. Because I've gotten a lot more out of my relationships than a PayPal deposit, a lot more. And I think we missed the mark on that. So what do you mean when you say a lot more?
Go ahead and talk about that. What do you mean? Not a lot more. What do you mean?
I've gotten so when I approach people, so I'll use me and O'Shea relationship as an example. So I humbly, I hit O'Shea up, and then I came through to showcase my skill set and I'm willing to work with him because I didn't know where he was financially because I thought what he was doing was bigger than it was the biggest thing I ever saw. So I'm like, man, I got to be a part of this. I got to be a brick somewhere in this foundation. And my attempt was not to game O'Shea, not to come in and do him dirty, but to be a part of what he has already built, but do the due diligence by coming through the ranks first and showing with time and effort that I'm here not only to stay, but to be of value. And to set that tone and do that with what I have to offer, what I have to offer. And I think sometimes we miss great opportunities because we don't really understand who the person that we're in front of is. And that person could open you up into a network. That person could lead you to a job. That person can even get you into a space where possibly you can do your own thing. But the whole idea of looking for a quick return on the moment of meeting this person is where I see a lot of us fall short in, because ideally the trade and services I did one day could lead into a great network of people another day. And I think we missed that a lot of the times. And I think we just lost O'Shea.
Yeah, I think we did too. But just to touch on what you were saying, is that's actually absolutely factual. And again, it's one of those things where we have to master our relationships and in business, and it's something that we don't talk about as men, whether in the personal or the career arenas. And if we tend to focus on this more, then we'll have better transactions with our brothers, and just be able to have better collaborations and have more conglomerates rather than a bunch of individual individual business sectors. Because if you were to put a lot of us all together, we could come up with something for like epic. I'm trying to find the word to describe it, but a lot of us get so stuck on getting to the top to say I made it. I'm a man of means. I'm here at the 5%, 3%, the 1%, whatever, that we're burning our bridges, on the way there. So by the time you get to the top, you have no one to link with. And as you know, life is all about relationships.
I'm gonna piggyback a little bit on what you're talking about. I think it's a little deeper. I keep hearing this phrase that Obsidian talk says, Obsidian Media Network. He said issues of the Negro id. And I think the problems of us coming together to work with each other are a lot more deeper. And I'll start with something very simple. I don't think Black men like each other. And I don't think, by extension, we don't respect each other.
I agree.
And until you, and then because of that, we have ego issues. We grandstand. We're jockeying for position, and there's not a sense of brotherhood amongst us because of all the trauma of our community when it comes to how we were raised, government, historic oppression, and then how we treat each other. And until we get that part figured out, because I'm lucky because I'm half Haitian, I'm half an American, and on the Caribbean immigrant side, Haitians have their own issues, so do Jamaicans and Nigerians and those immigrant groups, but they unify under culture. On my American side, we don't have any place, we don't have an island to go for. We're all just kind of floating in chaotic waters, trying to figure out how to stay afloat ourselves. And until we kind of address those bigger issues when it comes to the psychological and the spiritual, man, it's going to be very difficult for us to kind of be able to turn our back on our fellow brother and be comfortable enough to do so. I think that's where a lot of it comes from. Like, internal issues that we've all grown up with, but we never had the opportunity to put on the table and work on.
Definitely. And the funny thing, because when you said that a lot of the other groups can fall back on culture, you're absolutely right. Is that we don't have anything as Black Americans to fall back on. If you notice, the only thing, the very minute things that brothers agree on are things that are sport and play and victimhood. And what I mean by that is we agree on who's the best athlete. We agree on who's the best NFL team. We agree that racism is holding us back. We agree on, everything that doesn't have to do with, how to improve yourself. We agree that, these type of women are easy and fast. Like everything that has to do with sport and play, we can agree on. But when it comes to making decisions of how to improve the community, how to get our businesses together, how to get families in order, we all have 75 different ideologies. So that's why none of us can come together with one solid answer. White folks have so many subgroups, but at the same time, when it comes to protecting the white race, they know to assemble like Voltron and do what they have to do, when we're always trying to, run to our different sectors and defend that way, which has always been ineffective.
Look, let me give a shout out to Brother Randall Roddick. Thank you, brother, for the super chat of $10. Let me just kind of go into this. And I want to know for kind of some brothers, if you can hear me, press 1. Brother Maurice, how do we deal with haters, right? Because one, a lot of brothers might not understand this, but one thing about being successful and for this, especially even on something like YouTube.
Oh, Shay, you there?
The more successful you are, people just don't like. Can you hear me?
You're boring pretty bad. So can you repeat the last 30 seconds? Oh, Shay, you there?
Maurice, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking
Anybody
up.
hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up pretty bad.
While he's getting that together, basically, you got it.
Wait.
While he was getting,
can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're a lot better now. Yeah.
Yeah, much better.
How do we deal with haters?
You brother, you want to go first, or you want me to take this one?
Oh, he was going to you. I was just gonna just make sure that you heard the question correctly, because he was kind of borging out.
Yeah. So he's presenting. Man, you're gonna. I'll tell you the way I handle it. Right. One, it's a lot of humility and acceptance. I have an understanding that we as a community, we are a broken lot, and I kind of take that into consideration when I'm working with especially us. And I have a little bit more cushion for dealing with us when it comes to business, and I try to be very forgiving, but I try to keep things in context. So the scrutiny I would have for other communities, I don't have for us, but at the same time, I make an effort to kind of show through action of what I expect of you. And if we can't come to a conclusion where we can work together, I will always try to leave on a good note in my relationships. So you always have something, if not positive, fair to say. So I try to make more of an effort to be of good character and take it as far as I can before it becomes damaging to me, and leave it alone after that, and leave them where I found them. And it's not easy. It's very difficult to do. Extremely.
Sure it is.
Oh God, oh man. Man, I got business partners I can't be in a room with today. And I'm still working on that. I'm talking about 10 years ago.
And before O'Shea goes in, I just want to commend you for having that type of mentality, because us as brothers, we don't have it. We have the cutthroat mafia, tribal type mindset to say, if we don't agree, we have a beef or we're rivals. And I guess if I had to answer that question, to address any haters, I would say, hey, you have two choices. You can either stay over there, or you can come over here and let's work together, and we can make something even more epic. And at that point, you're questioning their ego. Like, do you want to sit here and pocket watch and criticize, or you can come learn how I've made something effective, with can have it in continuance, and you can either branch off on your own once we're done working together, or we can continue to work something out and make something epic. But at that point, they have to make a decision.
Oh, I'm sorry, let me let you go. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
This is what I also do. This probably be me being cynical. I plan, be careful. I plan for the fuckery. I just plan for it. It's gonna pop up. If it doesn't pop up, I'm pleasantly surprised. But with dealing with us, there's gonna be a level of fuckery. And I just kind of make contingency for it and don't take anything personal if it comes up.
Right.
And in fact, it becomes the first red flag of me probably not wanting to do business with you moving past this point.
Makes absolute sense.
But I think what happens is like we take things personal because I learned this from somebody recently. We put an expectation on people, and then we get tied to that expectation of what we put on that person and not what they are. I don't know if I said it the right way. So we have an ideal of what they need to do, and then you have the reality of who they are, and then we separate those two, and we get caught up in this fictional idea of who this person needed to be, and then that's where we get caught up. But if you just accept the person for what they are by observing and taking your time to vet them, you go, okay, don't show up on time. You haven't offered to give me anything. You're late. The way you talk to me is kind of strange. Okay, this is who you are. I get it now.
Right, and at the same time, it could be something that he just may not know. If it's a minor project, I may take that risk to say, hey, brother, let me show you how to conduct business, and give him a shot and say, no, you show up on time. You show up with all your ducks in a row, pull out your portfolio papers. Let's go over them, make sure they're legit, make sure if there's any literature, make sure everything's properly spelled, grammar, punctuation, everything else, and kind of show that brother how you do things. Because if you show him how you do things, it sets the standards of how to work with him or how to work with you in the near future. And that's going to get out.
Now for me, and this could be my personal take, that sounds like a measurement in performance. And I personally feel that you can measure character faster than performance. I'm a teacher, so performance is going to wax and wane based off the skill set and how fast the person takes in the information and what they can do around execution. But character is something very simple.
Right.
Very simple to measure, right? Timeliness is a part of the character piece. Do you respect me enough to clear your schedule to make this time to talk to me? Really simple. If you drop the ball, you follow up with the email or an acknowledgement that something happened. Are you placing me? Are we equals? Am I your subordinate? Are you my subordinate? What that'll shape up really quickly when you're dealing with somebody, really quickly. And I try to kind of gauge that as a measurement before the performance piece, because like I said, I kind of come in with caveats for us. And so I know brothers may not have the skill sets, resources, or time based off other obligations to execute properly. So I'm really flexible on the execution piece. But how you conduct yourself while we're working on stuff is what I really pay attention to. Really pay attention to that part.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yep, much better.
All right. So I don't know how long it's going. Let me just shout out. Thank you, brother Terrence B. D. Darrell, good show. I appreciate the intellectual commentary. Uncle Markel, thank you. Have a great night. Uncle, I was supposed to hook up with your boy. We still gonna work on that. D. Anderson, ODJ, and brethren, iron sharpens iron, respect. Let me just say this, man. There are cases where people, and a lot of times when we think about people being jealous, there's two things I want to talk about. There are times where we are jealous of other people. Like, are we here? Can you still hear me?
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
You know, we gotta be honest too, because we got to also check ourselves in the argument. I'm not speaking for either one of you brothers, but there are times where there's a brother that I might see even on YouTube, and I'll be thinking like, how does he have all these people and I don't?
Mm-hmm.
Then I gotta check myself. I gotta hold on, wait. It's something that he's doing that you are not doing.
Yep.
Don't worry about what he's doing. Worry about what you are doing.
Yeah.
And that even happens to myself. As YouTubers, we have egos. Some guys might see a girl and she's with another guy and like, why him and not me? But the thing that for those of you who might have read the Apostle Paul, he says sometimes it's not in your season, but in due season.
Absolutely.
And I won't talk about that. A lot of times, it might not be your time right now. It's not that it's not going to be your time, but it's just not your time right now. Maybe you are going to build slower on the platform, and that person's going to be. I have friends that have already went and graduated dental school, and they're doing well. And I was like, well, I got better grades than him. Like, why not me? But here's the situation: everybody we all have our own walks. We all have our own stories. Sometimes my walk might not be Brother Hassani's walk, and Hassani's walk might not be Maurice's walk. But I do have my walk, and I can walk my walk the best that I can. A lot of times as Black men, we don't understand that. We're looking at it's our time. Like, why not now? I'll even give you a good example, like Steve Young. Anybody know the Steve Young story? Steve Young came from the USFL, and then he went and played for Tampa Bay. He was terrible. He was considered a bust. But then Steve Young went to the 49ers and sat behind Joe Montana. And for those years, he probably had as much talent as everybody else, but it wasn't his time. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had a lot of talent, but he sat behind Brett Favre. It wasn't his time. Shit, even Jesus sat behind John the Baptist. I mean, if you want to take it like that, it wasn't his time at one point. Like, everybody is not their time at a certain time, even the dude that's playing quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. What's the guy's name?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray. He went to Texas A&M and he was stinking it up. Wasn't his time. The other guy that is in Cleveland, the quarterback, he was number 1 pick. What's his name? I forgot his name.
Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield. Went to Texas Tech. Wasn't his time. This year, Joe Burrow, number 1 pick, went to Ohio State, sat the bench for Dwayne Haskins. Guess what? Wasn't his time. But it's his time now.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Then you see, and I want brothers to understand that. Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Let me finish my point real quick, and I'm gonna turn it back over.
Go ahead.
There are guys right now, like in the NFL draft, they try to make their time now, and it's too late because you only get one chance to make it right. The guy named Jacob Eason, he came out this year, but it wasn't his time. He went to the 4th round. There are some guys who try to make it their time right now, and it's just not your time. But a lot of that is I have the ability, but it's just not the time right now. And sometimes you have to sit, and sometimes you have to wait your turn, because that's how, I don't know if you believe in God, if you believe in Buddha or Allah, whoever you believe in. But, a lot of the brothers need to start to understand that don't be jealous of another brother because he's doing very well. You don't know how much time he put into it. You don't know who he knows. You don't know what he knows. But what you can do is try to find out what he knows. You can try to collaborate. You can come and be humble and say, hey, I see that you're doing well. What is it that I'm not doing well? And can I collaborate with you and work for you? I'm not even going to charge you any money. And then I can find out from there. Instead of saying like, damn, well, why are you doing this? Why he doing that? Or he ain't got no talent. How's he doing this? Well, he knows something that you don't know, obviously.
Yeah, true.
That's why he's doing better than you. So we got to also get out of trying to rush the speed. Go ahead, brother.
And O'Shea, what you just said, man. Go back to the beginning of what you talked about. One of my good friends tells me, not in my time, but in God's time.
Right.
And that humbles me greatly because I'm human. I get jealous, envious, impatient. Why me, not him? That's real, and I acknowledge those feelings. But what do you do with them? Do you let them eat you up on the inside, or do you use them as a caveat to humble yourself and understand and accept where you are in your time? And to your point, do you know how hard it is to humble yourself to go, bruh, I I don't know how to do what you're doing. Can you teach me? That is so difficult for us to do. It's difficult for me to do. But man, you get so much out of that humbling experience of being open enough to go, I don't know. Help. You get so much out of that, man. You do. So yeah, man, man, I'm struggling with some of that right now, and some of the stuff like there's certain people I gotta connect to that I gotta bow down because I ain't ready for what they got. I'm not ready for the next level, and so I gotta go get something from them. And I know that. And I'm just trying to figure out the approach vector to make sure I come in on it the right way. But that what you said was real, man.
Right. And let me also say this too, in dealing with brothers that are haters, there can be guys. I was working with a guy, a collaboration. I'll give an example. And it's like no matter what I was doing, it wasn't enough. Anybody watch the Scotty? This whole thing with the Last Dance. I haven't seen it yet, but anybody who knows about Jerry, I think it was Jerry Krause. He was a general manager of the Chicago Bulls at that time. Chicago Bulls superstars were very underpaid, right? And there was a situation when the Knicks were I believe the Bulls were playing. I want to say the Knicks in the playoffs, and one year, Jordan had retired, and Scottie Pippen. They were down by 1 point, and Scottie Pippen wanted to take the last shot, and he didn't come out. The play was designed for Kukoc, right? And Pippen was pissed off. He didn't even come out to play. They ended up winning the game, right? But that was because Pippen was severely underpaid for the city of Chicago and the Bulls. And I kind of felt like I was working with this platform where, and it was funny because Tony Kukoc was on the team getting more money than he was, and he wasn't doing what Pippen was doing. There was a situation where I was doing some work for this guy, and I had brought more money to the organization than anybody else had did. And he went out, and he lied to me. He lied to me, him and this another person he was doing business with. They said they were going to do something. They didn't do it. They lied. Then they went and recruited somebody else and was paying that person what they said they couldn't pay me. Right? But I still kept trying to work with them anyway until a situation that's my fault. Let me tell you this. Sometimes you can produce for a motherfucker, but for whatever reason, they don't like you. They don't want you working for them, no matter what the numbers are. It's the same thing about the Last Dance. The Last Dance, the general manager told the Bulls, you motherfuckers can go 82-0. All of you are gone next year. Now, you also got to do diligence, man, and you got to take the signs when a person is not willing to work with you, no matter what you're doing, you're just not in there playing. And that's fine, right? Like, we got to understand this. You can try to work with people, do whatever you can, but you got to take the onus, and I do too, when you try to do something for a person and you're just not in their plans. It's the same thing in any relationships. I'm gonna give an example of what I'm talking about right now. Anybody know about Tyrod Taylor? I know you played football in college, brother, but anybody knows who Tyrod Taylor is? Press 1. I'm gonna make the case right now. Tyrod Taylor. Anybody knows who Tyrod Taylor is? I'm looking in the chat. Anybody press 1, you guys? Okay. Anybody know who Jacoby Brissett is? Hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello? Anybody hear me?
Yeah, the ones are coming. Yeah, the ones are coming in right now. Yep.
Tyrod Taylor is now the one. Okay, Tyrod Taylor is the quarterback for the San Diego Chargers. Now, Tyrod Taylor, for me, I think he's a more than capable quarterback. He played for Buffalo. He started 3 years. He threw 50-something touchdowns, only 20 interceptions. He rushed for over 1,500 yards. He did everything the Buffalo Bills asked him to do as a quarterback, and he came in the 6th round. the Buffalo Bills traded away Tyrod Taylor to go get Josh Allen, who doesn't even have Tyrod Taylor's number. Okay. Now, here's what happened. Once Phillip Rivers got away from the Chargers, Tyrod Taylor was supposed to be the quarterback for the Chargers next year. All right. Now, Tyrod Taylor has proven in the NFL that he can win as a starting quarterback. He deserves to be the starting quarterback. But who did the Chargers take with the number 6 pick in the NFL draft? They drafted Justin Herbert, a motherfucker who can't even win in the Pac-12, who breaks down in big games. All right? Can't even win. And you have a guy that's proven you can build around the guy who showed you he can play. But see, here's the situation. Tyrod Taylor is just not in their plans. That's all it is. It's not that he's not good. It's not that he can't play. Look at Indianapolis Colts. Jacoby Brissett beat the Kansas City Chiefs last year, the Super Bowl champions. Whooped their ass in Arrowhead Stadium, I believe, or somewhere. They beat him at home, I believe. Jacoby Brissett was playing great until he got hurt. They went and signed Phillip Rivers, a bum, gave him $25 million, and then they draft Jacob Eason in the 4th round. Guess what? Jacoby Brissett is just not in their plans. It's not that he can't play. And a lot of times as brothers, we try to stay in motherfuckers' plans that we can't make nobody be in our plan. You can only do what you can do. And once you show the motherfucker what you can do, and they don't want you in the plans, it's fine. You got to accept that. Some people just don't want you in their plans. And it's cool. Like brother Maurice was saying, you know, you wish you could leave a situation like that, but you know me, I have a problem with that. Once I don't fuck with you no more, fuck you. I'm just gonna be honest. You know, if I gave you opportunity and you show me you a fake ass nigga, I don't want no ties with your ass at all. But I want a lot of brothers to know a lot of times we make mistakes and try to stay in relationships, business and personal, with people that we're not in their plans. If a motherfucker starts showing you that you're not in their plans, leave. Don't try to stay there. Just because their platform is big or their platform is lucrative, fuck them. Leave now. It's better for you to work on your own shit than for you to be fucking with a motherfucker who don't really want you there. Because again, even the Chicago Bulls, we seen Pippen. He was there taking less money, won 6 championships, and the general manager kept trying to trade him all the time. Wow. But I just want to let brothers know that, like, you know, look at the signals, look at the hints. Go ahead, brother Martis.
No, to your point, I think we brought up this point early on the panel on how business and personal relationships are almost in parallel. Like the same vetting process we don't use when it comes to personal kind of runs in parallel when it comes to business. We get caught up in the exterior, but we don't spend enough time really sitting down and vetting the individual when it comes to philosophy, thought process, and then where they are personally with what they're doing. But you get to a point, if you know that stuff and you know you're not a good sync for it, it becomes a little bit easier to accept that you guys are not meant to be on the same path together, and you can let that go. But sometimes you get blinded by ambition of where you think you need to be, and you miss all the key signs on how this may not be going the way you think it needs to go.
What are the key signs? Can you talk about that real quick?
Well, a lot of the key signs that I've noticed in my experience is not being practical and really being caught up with a vision and not an understanding of where we are currently. I'll get so caught up in the what's ahead that I'll miss key steps that I should have been paying attention to. And when I tried to start a publishing company with a couple of bros from back in the day, I was so caught up in the ideal of us being a publishing company, I missed the parts where my business partners didn't have any business acumen, and they were really, really bad at day-to-day business operations. And everything kind of, after 3 or 4 years, I realized that I was the person managing everything. I was the person making the contact. I was the person organizing the events. They were just coming along for the ride. And I got so caught up in the task of doing things, I didn't realize these folk weren't even carrying their weight. And when we had a deal on the table, a big deal, it all went to hell in a handbasket because these guys were never businessmen. They were a bunch of artists having a good time on my dime. And I found that out in the tail end of it. But now I get more caught up in the little things like, are you on time? How do you respond? How do you respond to things when you fuck up? How do you respond to things when I fuck up? Do you hold me accountable? Little tiny things. It's funny. It's the fundamental things that if you think back on your bad relationships in your business relationships, it was the very small things that you ignored that really were the red flags to how the relationship was going to unfold. And I don't know if that's been an experience to everybody else. That's what I've seen in a reflection of some of my bad business relationships. Hello?
Still here.
Okay.
Well, you know what? It's funny. If you don't know, I played football at Central Michigan University. I was on the same team as Antonio Brown, and the year that I came in, J.J. Watt went out, and J.J. Watt and Coach Butch Jones, were always at odds with each other because J.J. Watt wanted to transfer to defensive end. When he was at Central Michigan, he played tight end. And when O'Shea was talking about not being part of the plan and not being his time, him and Coach Jones went back and forth. I heard all the stories, how he was like, just give him a couple reps at the end, let him show what he could do. And Coach Jones was like, no, I recruited you as a tight end. That's where you're going to stay. And J.J. Watt was like, you know what? I'm out. If this is not going to be part of your plan, I don't want to be part of it. And he went on to University of Wisconsin, as you all know, and he climbed up the ranks and he dominated there. And now he plays in the NFL. So it's a matter of who wants to be a part of what's going on, and we not the people who don't. And the only reason why I told that story is because when I came into that locker room, when I first got on campus, that was the buzz around the locker room, was J.J. Watt wanted something for himself that the head coach wasn't looking to give him. And that's how we have to approach our personal businesses, is that whether it's a business partner or even employees for that matter, if they're not going to buy into the vision that you have for your business, then there's no reason to do business with that person. And again, and sometimes, and I didn't mention this earlier, it's just like dating. We get caught up in the lust of business. And what I mean by the lust of business is, I have an employee, I have an assistant, I have a secretary, I have, a videographer, I have someone under me, my subordinate that I could tell what to do. And sometimes we don't think about the practicality of it. Is this person right for the job, or is this person right for the business deal? We get so caught, like I said, up on the money inside of it that we don't think about building and perfecting those relationships to see if that could be something that could be beneficial 5, 10, 15 years down the line. And so with that, I would just say that it's just a matter of being careful, vetting properly, and finding who aligns with you so you can execute what you need to execute so y'all can go further.
Yeah.
Let's let Brother Sub-Zero get in the game. Go ahead, Brother Sub.
Hey, what's going on,
Shady
man?
business partners, brother. I know you got some stories on that.
Man, look here, man. You name it, brother. I got situations I done been in. Okay, but and I've had a myriad of situations. I guess one of my ones that I really kind of got into, I regretted, was I had a brother who I really wanted to kind of help out. I had a big heart, and got him in on. I mean, we still kind of got a relationship now. We ain't just 100% fell out, but I when I first got him, he was working at a factory making like $400 a week, pushing like 40 some hours, right? And so I got him in. had him working with me as a contractor. He didn't know what to do. First day I got him, he went and got the wrong types of paint and everything. He didn't know, right? So I kind of brought him along, gave him a title. He would run and buy the materials for me when I was full-time flipper. And he messed around and started doing little roofing jobs on the side and just turned on me, bro. And the way I found out, because I didn't know, I can kind of felt something was different about him. But what really kind of made it just all blow open was he messed around and we met this girl that we all knew from a couple of girls we knew from Texas out here. Took him to Houston with me. We hung out, and the girl been knowing me about roughly almost at the time like maybe 10 years. And so he was on the phone with her sister, and he liked her sister. He was telling her, "Man, I could do everything he do, and he ain't that smart." They're just saying a lot of just cold stuff for no reason. Like I could do what he doing. And so she was, because the girl was like, you might need to stick with him. He's a smart guy. He's this, he's that. And he was just throwing real salt. And the girl just called me one day randomly and just told me, like, you need to watch it with so-and-so. He really, he talks about you every day. He always got something to say. He talks about your skin. I'm talking about stuff that I never even thought he was talking about. My skin and how I'm, always trying to look out for my skin, just in weird little stuff. You're talking about how he think he can do what you do, and which I said at first I was like, well, I don't mind him. I don't mind him getting into real estate, and she's like, no, he's saying he could be better than you, and you're not all that, and this. And I was like, okay, so he a real, okay, son, okay. I say this guy really, got some real animosity, and so whenever in my life that things went bad, I knew from that moment forward, for him to see him snickering and laughing, and he would be doing it right on cue. If anything didn't go my way, or if stuff didn't go, so I kind of knew this situation. But it's funny because it came full circle, because after I went down, okay, son. After the housing bubble happened and I wasn't making the money that I used to make, he messed around and started saying stuff like, "Man, I made the most." Okay, son. He said, "I made the most money I ever made with you, man. You really helped me. I had thousands of dollars in my account. I was rolling when I was with you." And so, it came full circle, man. He did actually come and apologize later on down the line. So, but that taught me a lot there.
Yep.
So you there?
Yeah, I tried to mute because I got some noise. I'm trying to get him set up though.
Oh no, you're right. And I guess I'll just take the reins on this one for a second. Even as somebody who is trying to come up, I had a situation when I first moved to Detroit. I was into the holistic health industry, and I was working with a business owner who owned a basically like a healing center where clients could come in and get colonics and herbs and that kind of stuff to help, just live a healthier lifestyle. And I managed the place for about 6 months. That's about as much as I could take of it. But in that 6 months, he kind of had an old school way of doing things. Still had, paper files and doing, confirming appointments by paper and doing all of the old school stuff that he was doing when he started in the 80s. And I was like, look, bro, like let's update your software on your computer. You need a new computer. You have the same computer from when you started. You have to upgrade some things, whatever assistance he had, wasn't doing a very good job of getting in contact of people who were signing up for classes and for appointments. I looked at the message tickets. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, when you can write down like who called, what the message was, like actual tickets. They weren't like voicemails or whatever. And I went through that book and it was filled from clients from 4 years ago who wanted to know, when the next class was for certification for a particular specialty for herbs, for colonic specials. And I turned that place around in 6 months, got it back jumping. People were coming to the classes, people were getting certifications, and I had to end up leaving because the brother wouldn't pay me. And that was frustrating, because I wasn't looking at it as his competition. I was doing my job. And when I looked when I was talking to him, I was like, look, I work 60 hours a week. I have, my wife, we just had our firstborn. He was probably about 2 at the time. And I'm like, look, bro, I can't spend all my time doing this if I'm not going to get paid. I'll never forget on the last chart I took was, he was trying to bring back, I want to say it was the herbalist class that he was doing. And I asked him before I went and recruited the entire day. I said, are we charging for these classes? And he said, no, just get the people in there and we'll work them from there. I went back through that voicemail book. I went to retirement centers. I went to grocery stores. I went to people's places of business and got people back on board who thought that he simply had forgotten about him, because he did. And when the class, rolled up, about 100 people, 100, maybe 25 deep, all of a sudden he changed his mind and was like, no, it's $10 for the class. And, people were like, well, we told it was free. And he was like, oh no, we're charging $10 a head. And it was like, you literally you literally told me that the class was free before, I had it out. So it kind of made me look bad. And we kind of hashed out in the back room, like, why are you changing your mind all of a sudden? I told you I could bring the people here. You should have told me that they were charging in the first place. And at that moment, it was like, you know what? I can't do it. I put everything into this business. I've, sacrificed personal time to, ask, to do small tasks for him, updating the website, whatever. And at that point, it was like, I got to do business or get out of this business and go elsewhere. And it's unfortunate because people like that, the personal touch that I brought, and that place hasn't been the same since.
How did you, when it came to you personally, how did that affect you? Did you take it personal, or was you like, no, this is a bad business relationship, so let me head out? You put a lot of sweat equity into, from what I'm hearing, you put a lot of sweat equity into the business.
Yeah, I did take it personal. Should I? I shouldn't have, but I guess I had a reference for this man. I didn't live in Detroit. At the time when I met him, I didn't live in Detroit. I was still in school. I was in Mount Pleasant, which is like 2 hours from Detroit. And I would go down there because I heard about him online, go to the classes, see what he was about. And when I got down there and finally got to work with them, it was a complete 180 turn. People were, kind of bad mouthing him, and people were like, I'm surprised that you stayed a month, because people, he has a high turnover rate just because he runs, his employees to the ground. And I really wanted to stick it out because I was passionate about holistic health. And and to tie this back into the subject, I wouldn't say it was jealousy per se, but it was more of being predatory from the opposite. Having the leverage of being in business and taking advantage of the people that you can. And that definitely took a personal hit to me, because for someone in a community that wants to teach health, like, you have to teach, building proper relationships too. And the fact that he was willing to tarnish relationships to keep his money, show what kind of person he was. And it's like, that's not how business go.
In retrospect of that relationship, do you remember the moment when the first red flag presented itself? Because I know for all the relationships I've had that have gone bad, I can always recollect a moment that I ignored, but it was a very key moment that I should have made a move on. Did something similar happen to you? Like somewhere in the middle of the end and the beginning, you saw something that you saw something that didn't sit right with you, or something was just kind of off?
You know what? Actually, it was funny. It's funny you say that. The first red flag where I should have gotten out is I got a call from him about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I'm thinking something's wrong. Maybe someone didn't lock the door at the building, and he asked me, he's like, how come the website isn't updated? And I was like, because you didn't give me that task to do so. And he was like, well, I kind of need the website updated because we got this, X, Y, and Z going on. And, instead of stopping him right there and saying, this couldn't have waited till the next morning. I'm at home now. I was there earlier today, and you should have said something then. But at the same time, looking at him with reverence and looking at him like an uncle or someone to look up to in the health industry, I took it. I was like, okay, when I get a minute, I'll get up, I'll make the update and do it from there. And then when I made the updates, they weren't to his liking. And I was like, this is exactly how you said you wanted it, but he, wanted his, on his style verbatim. And so, and at that point, I was getting ready to say, why don't you just do it yourself? But I was getting paid. So I held my tongue. And at that point, I should have started looking at the signs. But, again, when you're passionate about a field, you kind of overlook some things to basically serve the bigger picture.
I've actually been through that same thing at a medical weight loss facility I worked at for about 3 months. Some years back, I worked there, and I actually gave the owner of the business some ideas. As a female, gave her some ideas. She said, "Oh, you have a great business mind," but she had a real mean streak. Every pay period, she would cuss people out in her office. She would come down and get money out the business banking account and just go to Atlanta and go shopping, and just did a lot of dumb stuff. And the business was actually roaring. But her best month ever was big. And this is the idea I gave her. I said, let's go to the mall. Let's get a kiosk. People don't even understand what medical weight loss is. They don't know about these vitamin B12, B6 shots and how you can drop 20, 30 pounds. You had people just losing weight just by taking shots. And so I told her, so she started diluting the shots that she was getting. She would dilute it, which would cut the results and slow down people weight loss. Then she would she just would come in there and curse out, so I was working in the mall, and this was when I was trying to get into IT. So I'll be studying. I was the number one draw of people that wanted, like, we would sign people up. So what I would do, I came up with the idea, she would charge people for a consultation. I said, well, look, let's just get, $20 down to lock in their place as an appointment. If they miss the appointment, you've gotten, so it was days I was walking out of there with hundreds of dollars, like I'll get $150 a day sometimes from people. I had gotten her in the month of December. I probably signed up north of 100 and some people just by myself. This woman came who she tried to make her manager. And that lady came out there and saw me studying during the day, but it would be the dead of day. Like, it's the dead of day. It's Montgomery, Alabama. What do you want me to do? She was like, why aren't you smiling at people when they walk by and talking to people? I'm like, I've signed up more people than anybody else in here. Because she had her friends, her nephews and cousins working there. And they would just come there and be on the phone. So I would literally sign. I said, I pulled out the paperwork. I said, look, I've signed double anybody else that is coming. I think I was at like 160 people. And all of them had put money down. So just do the math, just on that alone. Plus, a lot of these people were showing up and giving her $200 to sign up and do all that. And man, that lady called me one day and cussed me out. Man, I just left the kiosk. I just walked out the kiosk because she called me cussing. And she talked to me like she knew me, like we was family or something. She would just be going off. And I'm like, you ain't paying me that much. This was when I was trying to get in IT. I was struggling financially, but I was like, you're not paying me enough to go off like that. Nobody can. I mean, you'd have to pay me millions to let somebody cuss at me. I'm talking mega millions. Like to let somebody talk to me like that. I'm like, you can't pay me no little, $14 and think you're gonna call me and just cuss at me like that. And this lady would lie on my hours. I would show up and open the mall. The mall opens at like 9 o'clock. I'm staying there till like 6. She would say, oh, well, you took a lunch. I'm like, I didn't take a lunch. Nobody came and relieved me. I just walked to the food court, grabbed some food, came back and ate it. I haven't taken a lunch. She would be every pay period. She skimped me on my hours. It was a trip, man. It was a trip. And then come to find out she liked me. She wanted me to, I could tell a real story about it. She come to find out she liked me and was mad because I was talking to somebody at the time and wasn't trying to talk to her like that.
Wow.
So she came up there trying to floss in front of this other guy. She took this other guy who was sleeping with her, went in the mall and bought him like $1,000 worth of Jordans. And now you guys, you gotta understand, I'd have made $100,000 selling a house in 4 hours. So I don't care about you spending no $1,000. I'm like, that's, even though I was broke, my mentality was, if I can get $100,000 in 4 hours, you can't impress me dangling some Jordans in my face. I'm not that type of guy,
right?
But this guy was impressed. He was all skinning and grinning, and she like, So then she went to the food court. She gonna come see. This could have been you. I'm like, yeah.
Are you serious?
I said, yeah. She told me. I said, you know what? I said, you want me? You got to. I said, you got to come up off way more money than that.
I don't want to watch.
You want to get me on your team? You got to come up off way more money than what you.
I know that's right.
I said, you can't get me for $1,000.
That's wild.
Then she said, what she said? She said, well, you working for me now? Like that. She had a real slick mouth. So I had to leave. I just walked off the kiosk that a couple of days later.
Let me just add to that. Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Just real quick, just like the brother was talking about, a lot of times you can do collabs where you're producing for people, and the motherfuckers don't appreciate it, right? And when you're dealing with black business, these are the same people that are always talking about, man, I try to work with black people, but black people can't work together. Like, them motherfuckers don't never understand that they be the problem. Like, that's just what I'm talking about. Always be weary of motherfuckers talking about, man, black people can't do nothing, man. We can't do business together, man. I'll be trying to do stuff with black the motherfuckers who say that, they the motherfuckers you can't do shit with. I promise you.
Fact.
That's some game I'm gonna drop. Motherfuckers that are complaining about they can't find black folks to work with, and man, why we can't do this, and them are the motherfuckers that's gonna fuck you the hardest in any kind of business transaction. Run from those people fast.
All right? not as you said.
Hold on, Morris. Let me finish before I forget. One thing I want to say: they're gonna hit you with, man, black people don't see the big picture. What that means is you don't see their big picture. See, they want you to do nothing for them motherfuckers while they get everything, and you get the small end of the stick. That's what the motherfuckers was talking about. I just want to just very briefly talk about some things you're gonna see when a motherfucker knows you making money for them, but they don't really want you involved, or they want to just keep you paying like a little bit nothing. Here are the things you're gonna see. One of the things that they're gonna do is you're gonna find them downplaying what you're bringing to them. So if it's just like Belichick didn't want Brady there. So what Belichick is gonna do is he was always gonna praise other motherfuckers for that do less than Tom Brady. He's always gonna elevate what they're doing more, right? That's what people do when they don't want you around. They're not gonna tell you they don't want you around because you're making the money, you're doing well for them. But what they're gonna do is while you're producing, they're gonna downplay anything that you do, and then they'll elevate motherfuckers who ain't doing shit. That's one of the signs, okay? So if you ever come across a motherfucker and you produce them for them more than anybody else, they're gonna downplay everything you do while uplifting other motherfuckers around you in the same vicinity that ain't doing shit. Number one.
That was exactly what happened to me. Exactly what she did.
Mm.
Another thing you're gonna understand is they will always tell you one thing and do the opposite. So you're doing this, you're putting in the effort, but the motherfuckers is jealous of you because you got more talent or you got more whatever. They're going to tell you, oh, that's a good idea. Like Sub-Zero was saying, oh, that's great. Oh, that's blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to get you with, oh, well, we're going to do this. And this is what we're going to do. Now, you're going to be doing what you're going to be doing, but them motherfuckers are never going to follow through on what they should be doing for you. And then they will have the nerve not to apologize. And then what they will do is they will blame other motherfuckers. So this is one thing too, especially if it's a business partner or 3 or 4, the motherfucker that might make the decision to, let's say, cut you out of a deal or cut you some money, they'll come to you and be like, hey man, you know, well, we made the decision not to bring this money to you because we don't have it right now. But they're not going to cut their money though, right? But at the same time, here's what they're going to do. At the same time, when they cut you out of something, and when you still stick with them and you're making progress or whatever, and they don't promise something, those are the same motherfuckers that when it comes down to promising something, they gonna then start blaming everybody else. Oh man, don't go to me, go to Eric. You know, it's on Eric, man. No, it wasn't me, it was Eric. But wait a minute, motherfucker, you and Eric both decided to cut me out of such and such. See? And then they'll start blame gaming motherfuckers around. This is what these niggas do. So when you're dealing with a group of motherfuckers, they want to be there and bubble off your work and off your ethic. But when shit goes wrong, the motherfuckers will start blaming each other and shit like they don't know. That's one thing. Another thing too is, when you start asking for the money, how the money is going, they're gonna always get very sensitive. So how much money is what I'm doing making? Yeah, man. Well, right now, man, I don't have the time to look at such and such. It's around this much. You know, it's around. No, nigga. What is it around? What is it? Yeah, man. You know, right now I don't have the time now. Wow. And you know, so they'll start doing bitch ass shit like that. Like, you know, if you ask them what it is that you're doing, they're not gonna ever tell you. You know. Or if you done something last month, oh, that was last month. They're not gonna talk. They're gonna ever talk to you about that. You know, they ain't never gonna tell you your progress. They gonna always talk around what you're doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you made $20,000, well, how much money did I make? Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's something around 20,000. It might be what's something around 20,000. Okay, is it 25? Is it 26,000? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
yep, we got you.
Yeah, we hear you.
Am I working?
No, you're fine.
Nope.
Yeah, they'll always try to there will be a lack of transparency of what it actually is that you're doing. And then if they pay you something and you ask them, well, damn, this is how much it is. Well, you know, well, I did this and I did that and woo, right? Another thing that motherfuckers like that will do, they will pay a motherfucker that you don't know that is not invested more than you. You will find out that from somebody else or from them, the same people that you dealing with, they will pay a motherfucker that's not even invested as much as you more than what you're getting paid. You will find that out. Motherfuckers is cold in the black community. Like, you doing everything. Them motherfuckers will go and pay a motherfucker something more than you after they drop the ball with your shit. These are signs that these are bitch ass niggas and they don't want you involved in their shit. This shit happens. Wait, hold on one second. And the last one, hold on one second. They'll talk to you as if you need them. That's one of the things. As if like,
yeah,
that's one of the things the motherfuckers will do. Like, they are so much higher than you, and in reality, you the motherfucker that got the shit. You the motherfucker that got more resources in them in many ways. But they'll try to talk to you and try to game you like they got something to offer you. More so when they know that they don't. You know what I mean? And then they'll try to, at the latest, they'll try to give you a deal that's so fucked up that you have no choice but to quit. You know? So some of the things that you know that you cannot work with certain motherfuckers. Never watch what these niggas say. Always watch what they do. And a lot of motherfuckers is disguised behind pro-black, Pan-African, wanting to work with the black community. And anybody that talks that shit and you niggas hear that, run from them niggas. Them are bitch ass niggas. I'm telling you. If you hear any of them signs I just mentioned, them niggas are fuck niggas. They not gonna pay you to fuck them. Run, leave them. Leave them up where they stand. Go ahead.
My publishing partner, bro, was pro-black, Ashe, vegan, vegetarian, all that, man. And they just this dude, man. We had beautiful people helping us out with our events, free. They wouldn't pay him nothing. I would at least give him gas money and cover food. How about my business partner was running through all the females? We found out toward the end. That's why all the volunteers would disappear. He would run through them.
Wow.
And then I'm talking about people driving 45 minutes with their own equipment to document what we doing. I felt bad, so I'm like, here's a little change, man. I wish I could do more for you. This cat tagging in the back. And all of a sudden, old girl just drop off the face of the earth. Come to find out, doing them dirty. This is like brother, Ashe, all that, shea butter, all that, man. It's crazy. But yeah, man, I ain't want to think that for the pro-black, bro, but consistently working with them folks, man, they've been the most full of shit I've worked with consistently over my last 10 years, dealing with people in that sector of the community.
You talking about the hotel?
The hotel, yeah, man.
Beware of pro-black talkers, Pan-African talkers, white supremacist talkers. No. Run from motherfuckers will show you they pro-black with their actions. Motherfuckers that talk that shit, don't fuck with them. For sure you're gonna have bad. For sure it's gonna be bad. I can promise you. Motherfuckers that talk that shit are not like that behind. No, I'm trying to tell you. If you deal with them niggas based off what they talk about, they don't live that life. Usually they don't. For the most part. Go ahead, brother. What's up, Zero? Or Hassani.
No, I'll chime in. And honestly, that's what got me caught up when my wife and I first went to business. Went into business. We had a business manager or an agent, I guess you can call him, who was kind of on the same stuff. Was pro-black love, pro-black, blackity black, black. All that jargon. And mind you, we were new to it, so we didn't know the red sign and the flags. But again, when we're doing tapings and we're getting interviews for shows, the brothers talking to the women of the shows and doing so much. And the first thing he's asking is, where's his money? And I'm like, and we're like, where's our website set up, business cards, prospects for leads for future interviews. And we got the humana, but everything was pro-black, blackity black, your mama black, everything black. And once we got out of that sector, we started doing so much better.
I'm telling you,
we did so much better. And in Detroit, we're kind of looked at as the uppity couple, and we had to address somebody like, we're not uppity. It's just that we're not gonna volunteer anymore. We're not volunteering our time no more. When we go to I guess a quote unquote professional or white space, it don't take us 30 minutes to sell a book. They ask what it's about, and if it finds them to be beneficial, then they buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to debate you as to why you should buy our book or not.
Oh, dealing with us as customers, huh?
You know what I mean? And so, and again, in the hotel, arena, as a married couple, we're an oddity. And so when we were doing, again, events and everything else, people looked at us like, oh wait, y'all officially married? Yes. Oh, y'all just don't live together? No. Like what? So again, when you get to those hotel spaces, and we talk about business, for example, people not abiding by contracts. my wife was doing a like a sister empowerment kind of thing, and you know they were working out the deals or whatever, and she was like, "Yeah, I just need you to sign this this agreement that we agreed to all the terms and blah 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 blah." And then the woman who was putting on the event just ghosted her.
Wow.
And
Wow.
over an agreement, just saying that, or you're bound, like, I'm speaking at this time, the event goes from this time to this time. You promised I could, because I don't think she was even getting paid to speak. I think she was just allowed to vend, and just signing the agreement, the woman ghosted her over an agreement. Like, you're telling me you can't follow this agreement? Our contracts are really simple to read. And so at that point, we were just like, no, we're not doing this no more. We're not, doing it for the community doesn't get you any, I won't say doesn't get you any respect, but you're looked at as a charity case. And we're not in this business to be a charity. We're in this to save relationships. When I was in that business, and that costs. Our time and our research is worth being compensated for. When colleges and universities ask us to come speak to their students, they don't have to debate us. When radio shows come and ask us to do a bit, we don't have to show our credentials and how do we know your marriage techniques work? Because I'm still married, maybe. maybe that's kind of a factor, you know what I mean? And so again, the Hotep community, as though I have respect for a lot of those folks, especially the older generations, the new cats are just kind of doing it to get women. It's a breeding ground, unfortunately. That's what we kind of had to figure out.
Brother, now that you're saying that, I think a red flag for me when you try to keep business and pleasure in the same pot, that's a huge red flag. We had our 5-year venture in over some reckless poom, and it just shattered the whole group, because all of a sudden you had men running an organization and a chick showed up out of nowhere. Wasn't vetted, didn't have any credentials to do anything, and now she's at our meetings giving input. And I'm like, where did chick come from?
Right.
And that was the beginning of the end.
Yep.
Beginning of the end, bruh.
And again, as business acumen, you have to know where your priorities lie. If you're willing to sacrifice a business because you can't control your dick, then maybe you need to stay an employee. Unfortunately, because
O'Shea, you need to do a video. I was just gonna say O'Shea needs to do a video just strictly on lack of control and how many black men have been taken down in business and in life because they have a lack of control of their dicks. If you can't do that, you will not be wealthy. You can go back thousands of years in history. You name them, a woman took them down.
Right.
So
and
it's like,
even, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Now, I'm just gonna say, I've seen that. I remember when I had my comedy club, I had, half the city was trying to sleep with me, and my partner, I believe he was knocking some of them down, but I ain't mess with it. I didn't do it, and it was like, and people used to be like, "Man, you ain't trying to." No, because one of the things I knew was if I remained mysterious and wasn't, he with her, it actually made it easier to get a woman. But that wasn't my focus, because I'm gonna be honest with you, when I'm broke, which is what was going on at the time, I can't get an erection. I'm not even, my mind doesn't, I can't put that together. Somehow I'm a lot better when I got a few thousands in the bank. When I got a few zeros, I'm like, okay, I just can perform better than when I'm okay. I got homeboys that, I'm talking about, they'll borrow $20 from me, go buy a cigar, go buy a drink, and keep getting the bartender, get a friendship with the bartender, get them to pour them some grape juice all night, make it look like they drinking something, and walk around.
Oh
with,
my
I'm
god.
talking about, and will walk around with a borrowed suit coat on that he borrowed from somebody, and will walk to a woman making $200,000 a year and skin and grin in her face. And I'm like, dude, if she take your number and say she want to go on a date, what you gonna do? And I heard so many, this dude, man, we can go throw birds with ducks. We can go. I'm like, wait a minute, you gonna go get some bread and throw some bread to some ducks. And you're gonna go ahead. I'm like, this is he came up with like 5 or 6 things you could do with no money. I just thought it was crazy.
He's the thing with that shit. Oh shit! Shout out to brother Goshen with the hunt. What does Goshen do? That nigga is the president of Russia or something. That nigga got too much money. Shout out to Goshen, man. That brother be dropping the hundos. Brother Goshen. Now you new niggas that don't never get no money now. Goshen shouldn't have to be giving money all the goddamn time. Shout out to brother Xavier Mathis. Sounds like Kodak Black P Miller. If you enjoying the show, if you've never donated, nigga, you got $1. You can get coronavirus. Ain't got your wallet on $1. You can give $1 or something. It's always the same niggas. I don't want to hear nothing from. Man, that was a good show, brother. Did you give any? I want you new niggas money too now. You know what I'm saying? Let me just say this. Can y'all hear me good?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I mean, this is what I want to say. In all seriousness. I want brothers. I want to go back to what I have a lot of niggas that ain't shit, but you have some that are, right? And I think a lot of times what keeps me going on Black YouTube is the brothers that are legit. And we don't, a lot of times good Black men that are doing the right thing don't get enough credit. You know, it's easy for us to come on here and talk about the niggas that ain't, we know that they're there, but a lot of times we don't talk about the Maurice Novembers who helped me establish a brand and still gonna help me, you know, doing stuff. Brother Hassani Ali, this brother Sub-Zero, Uncle D Darrell, brother Goshen, people like that want to see you be successful. We don't talk about those Black men a lot. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
And I think that, you know, that we need to tell all the brothers out there that do want Black men to be successful, and you guys are trying to work together. I thank you. And that's not about super chatting thing. I just thank you generally. I thank you, brothers. You know, like I said, some brothers just here watching a video, whatever. But there are so many brothers that want to see the platform to be successful, and we don't really focus enough on the good Black men out there that are trying to do stuff, that do want to see brothers win, that do want to see brothers be successful. It's a lot of Black men out there like that. And I got to say this, we got to start trying to put our energy towards the brothers that are looking to be like-minded. We're going to have brothers, obviously, that's not going to see our way. I've had YouTubers, for example, in the last 4 or 5 years. I thought we was cool. For whatever reason, we can't work together, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. They doing their thing, I'm doing my thing. But I am around the same people that I can work with. And a lot of Black men need to understand you only need a few. Get around the brothers that you can do stuff with. You know, and for those, like I think Brother Hassani was talking about, this is not a market in which, you know, there's a abysmal hindsight. Like there's not enough opportunity. There's we don't have to have that what kind of mindset that kind of, what are you saying, Hassani? What is it called again when you have that like everything is limited? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lack of abundance mindset.
Yeah, lack of abundance.
Yeah.
We don't have to be like that. Like scarcity.
Scarcity.
You know, I know in economics, you know, you have you know, scarcity and fixed number of goods and products and services, which is true. But a lot of times those numbers can be raised by collaborations. You know, that's what people do in economics. My country can only produce a certain amount of this, and then Hassani can produce a certain amount of that. And then that's how we combine our strengths, and we can produce more for an economy or more of a labor force because we specializing in what he does absolutely and what I might do better. And that's how we got to start. And we don't really think about Black men that are really trying to do stuff. And one thing I want to say this too is we got to have the mindset to be open. And like, even though if you have a bad situation with one Black man, that doesn't mean another Black man is going to be like that. Oh
Right.
shit! I was trying to ghost since he hated on me and got banned. Me banned on Embo Teach. Stingray, man. This is a nigga acting like a fucking somebody from Pakistan, and this nigga just be in here trolling, giving money. Thank you to the brother, but we brothers, we have to really look at that. There's so many talented black men out there that are doing great things. We have the Hall of Game. There's the Black Brain Trust. There are brothers doing stuff. Brothers want to see you be successful, right? We gotta stay in that mindset, and we gotta forget about. I'm not saying forget about it, but we can't take those thoughts to other brother relationships. We have to continue to work with our black men because why? Now I'll try to tell people we're the same people, and I'm giving a call out to every African American man on the sound of my voice. All of us on this panel, we are the same people. We have the same story. Our families come on the same ships, right? We've all experienced the same things in America, and nobody is going to do anything for us. We are the only people that's going to help ourselves. Nobody's going to do it. If black men don't do it, it won't get done. So as a group, as the same people, we have to think like this. In coronavirus, I was talking about this earlier. Coronavirus is going to make black men work together. Situations like this is going to make you work together. Okay? Because when big daddy government cannot save you. All right, y'all stop. Okay. All right, thank you, brother Goshen. But I can't. All right, y'all. Okay, y'all calm down. But we got to really think about that. All right, we got to really think about that.
Are they having a trick off, O'Shea?
I don't know. The niggas is crazy. I'm trying to have my point being messed up. We the same people, right? We're the same people. If we don't do it, nobody else will do it. And it starts with everybody here. So I want to just, I wanted to say that. Go ahead, brother.
So, bro, I want to ask you a question because I appreciate the space you helped create with a bunch of other brothers. I'm coming to this understanding that this is like an operating theater for a lot of the men that are watching. When we see people interact with each other and we see the different temperaments, philosophies, ideas, all either connect or mesh or repel, it's interesting to learn from this space because one, I think I got a better understanding of our temperaments as black men, and I'm more prepared to work with us because I see the avatars in black YouTube kind of either work well with each other or repel each other. And it's helping me kind of formulate better strategies on how to work locally with black men in my own circle. I was on a conference call with a business partner of mine, and I overstepped. I called him out in the middle of a meeting, and I heard the tone. I heard his tone change, and he got really short and sharp with me in the meeting. We ended the call. I called him back, and he proceeded to cuss me out because I made him look like a fool in front of the team, and I had to take the L on that one. I had to because I did, and I apologized. And here's the funny thing about the dialogue that we had. He has a really deep accent because he's from the Cayman Islands. He thought that I thought little of him because of his background. And it wasn't because of where he was from. He kind of moves like a salesman at times. And so he doesn't do, in my personal opinion, the proper vetting of things because he's trying to get to the market faster versus making sure the whole thing is set up properly to get the best experience for the customer. And he puts the fire under my butt when I'm lagging behind on things. But I had to explain to him, I'm more about quality than making the buck. That's how our two philosophies differ, but we feed off each other. But I had to apologize to him, man. And I learned to be more humble when working with other black men by being a part of this space. Because I see all the tensions that are going on, and I see the different philosophies and ideologies. And I say this to you, O'Shea, I'm very fortunate and happy that this space exists because, man, you don't even realize what it does mentally for the brothers who are currently just watching and not saying anything to kind of see this stuff happen in real time. It is really refreshing to know that you ain't crazy, that other men are going through something very similar to what you're going through.
Did we lose him?
Nah, he ain't right still there. I think he's on mute.
not sure. But you,
I'm here.
Go ahead.
No, man, I'm handling some business while y'all talking. I was just handling a little business. I'm listening.
Okay. Well, and on the other side, this is very therapeutic as well. A lot of brothers don't want to share their stories because we suppress them. As a coach, as a marriage coach and a football coach, you have to talk. You have to expose those weaknesses so you can figure out, how to turn them into fuel or a learning tool so you can apply them into the next situation. And for us to share these stories, and for some of us horror stories, that we kind of just playing it in the back of our minds. This is somewhat of a therapy, for brothers to get stuff off their chest. And not just for this stream, for streams in the future and the other ones where brothers have shared their personal stories. And so, again, for brothers to be able to congregate like this and to be able to give their personal anecdotes of what's going on out here, like I said, people can relate. People can align with what you're talking about because it's happened to them. They know a brother, a father, an uncle, a mentor, a coach, a teacher who's gone something similar, and they want to know that they're not, they're not crazy for what they know, or they know they're not alone and going through it. So, I appreciate O'Shea for bringing this space, and I appreciate all the brothers who come out and listen, because this is imperative. As the economy is changing and as how everything is falling into place, things are shifting. This is an opportune time for brothers to get it together and get in the race. I know a lot of talk is usually on the sisters and dating and mating and playing pussy police, but guess what? Like, we can focus on the business now. Let's build the entities and get stuff together. Find people who are in your area, whether you're in Houston, Detroit, Miami, New York, wherever you are. Find the brothers in these spaces and start collaborating. So sisters can't say you're not building nothing, because now it's more visible when you have 10 brothers working on something and it's visible to everybody else.
Let me say this, man. I've been down some I've had some nightmares working with brothers, man. It's been rough, and to be quite honest with you, I don't really want to partner with people in a real good, like at a level. All right, I got you. You know what I'm saying? On a level like that, until I get to a certain level where it's not okay. I'm trying to put food on the table. You know what I'm saying? We got to put food on the table. When it comes to black people, somehow I'm gonna snatch all of it off the table before you can get to it. Mentality instead of waiting, man. Usually in business, if everybody already comfortable and you kind of playing with a little house money, you throw a few dollars out, everybody's happy. People tend to be a lot more patient, more understanding, more, and I've been in situations. Business is hard, man. Like I had a brother, we gave that brother $4,300, bought a truck, put down on the truck at Lone Mountain. And that brother didn't give us a dime. He's supposed to be driving the truck. Well, I couldn't sleep at night. I was ready to kill that nigga. I wanted to put a hit out on his ass. Because I really thought I was like, nigga, $4,300, nigga, I'm thinking about killing you. Like, I really did. Like, I'm being straight up, right? And I was on the phone with some people that was going to kill him. Like, I'm dead serious, right? And if I had done that, I probably wouldn't be sitting here. But I thought about getting that nigga off and keep straight. Yeah. And he messed around and lost the truck, man. Like, business is hard in and of itself. When you cross people, it just has a way of equalizing stuff out, man. When you do most people I've seen in business that are very unscrupulous tend to get happens, man. It just happens. It's hard in and of itself. With people still stealing, lying, cheating, backdooring people over dollars. Those people, especially black people, you may, even if you win on a level that you probably could have won. You probably could have won much larger, which is what I see with a lot of black contractors when I'm doing, because I do houses. A lot of them they'll probably try to get you for a couple of $1,000. Like, nigga, had you just done what you said you was gonna do, I would have kept you. And I got good credit. The bank would have gave me more money, and I would have been able to throw you back out there, and you would have made way more money. But because you trying to get me for these few peanuts, now you done burn that relationship, and now you always steady looking for new customers, new people to come, you know. And that's just how it works, man. It just ruins everything. So, you know.
Nah, man, man. Yeah, bro. Working with us sometimes is rough. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I had my first bad. I had my first bad experience working with us with my father. So, but yeah, man, you just like I said, man, this space gives me hope that we can repair those relationships. So we'll see. We'll see. I think Doctor, we lost somebody. Okay. But there you go. Yeah. My honest take on it. Yeah, I think it's more of just. I think the approach got to be different. We're going to work with each other, and then we really got to just put that psychological and that baggage piece on the table, and kind of keep it there and understand that, you just got to be, either work with us or don't work with us at all, and be mindful of that. But I believe in us, and I think we will be better in time. But we're definitely not perfect now, and then we're just gonna have to just kind of work toward being perfect and with due diligence and effort, and be examples. That's all I got.
I say steer clear of
All right.
somebody. If you get a contract on somebody and you can sue them, like the guy that I gave that money to, I had him under a contract, but I was like, he already got bad credit. He ain't got nothing to lose. So turn right here. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a waste of time. That's what made me want to hurt him, because I felt like, okay, he really ain't got nothing. He already got bad credit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get nothing from him. So people like that, you probably don't want to deal with. All right,
Right. All right. Sorry I was gone, but I'm definitely gonna do another one of these tomorrow. I really appreciate everybody. What time is it right now in the States?
Almost 10 o'clock.
East Coast.
Almost 10
East
o'clock.
Coast
Okay.
about 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So shout out to the brother, Mr. Krause the Fridge. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Goshen. Outshining Goshen since he hated on me and got me. Oh my God. You always get banned, nigga, because you crazy. Shout out to the brother Xavier, man. That sounds like Kodak Black and Pete. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, brothers. I'm gonna do another haul tomorrow. Thank you for the brothers just coming on. I'm thinking about bringing back the Sunday Rumble tomorrow night. I kind of missed the nigga shit content, but I'm still thinking about that. I don't know. I might do the Sunday Rumble tomorrow, but I gotta get the right people. So I was still thinking about that. I'll let you guys close out the show. I know, and brother Hassani Ali, I wanted to let people know that brother Hassani Ali will be bringing his YouTube channel out rolling out in the next week or so. So I wanted to put everybody on notice that when he does, I'm gonna wait till he does it, and then when he does, I'm gonna basically do a response video to the article he wrote on the Negro Manosphere. But I'm not gonna do it until he rolls out, because what I want to do is I want to record that video and send everybody to his channel. So brother Hassani, go ahead and tell them about the channel you're gonna be starting.
To be honest, O'Shea, what I'm doing is I'm going to do a motivational channel. Every day I'm going to be checking on brothers and saying, hey, what are you doing today? What is your excuse not to be excelling? What's distracting you? Given the resources, to say, hey, if you're looking to achieve this, I'm here to help. And I think we need some more channels like this so people can be held accountable, especially during this quarantine. There's no reason why you can't get something started, especially if you're not working right now. And so my goal is to get in people's faces and say, hey, what are your dreams? Because I'm going to help you get there a day at a time. So if you're looking to get into business, if you're looking to get into climbing the corporate ladder, if you're looking to be a better father, husband, I'm here to help. And so I just just filmed my first 3 videos today. They're getting edited right now. I'm going to kind of do something like a motivational Monday type piece where they're professionally done, and I'll kind of do stuff on the phone from there. But that's basically the direction I'm going in with this at the moment.
All right, and like I said, man, that's going to be good to have that in the space. So, and I definitely we're going to help our brother. Seems like that's going to do a very good channel. I can tell you right now, it's going to be very good. Brother Sub and brother Maurice, we will be them back tomorrow. Guys, what you guys have to say about that?
I want to say this about Maurice, man. Maurice has really came and helped me with my business, man, from the logo to design to linking certain websites to, yeah, man. Maurice, man, if anybody's looking to do anything in business, holler at Maurice, man. That brother is a godsend, man. He really has helped me. Anybody else I'm doing, I mean, he's willing to tackle everything. I mean, from copy to, some stuff I'm like, I'm gonna pay somebody to do, but still, he's got the mindset of a great attitude he brings to it, wanting to tackle anything, willing to give it a go, give it a whirl. But then he's also very excellent at what he does. What I have seen him do, he's been, I mean, tip top, world class. So way more better expectations than I expected.
Real.
Listen, when I say expected, listen. I'm not saying I expected shoddy work. I'm just saying he'll do something. I'll be like, damn, that looks real nice. Like way more. I'm like, okay, he's gonna do this. It's gonna look professional. He will make shit look sleek, smooth. I'll be like, damn, bro, he gave me a YouTube channel, Lifting the Veil IT Academy YouTube channel. He gave me. I hadn't put any content up yet, but still, he went and did the channel. I didn't ask him to do that. He just did it. Then he's edited my whole damn sales funnel. He's got all my pictures and all my stuff up there, man. Everything is like, all I got to do is just type a couple of little places here and there, and it's bang up, man. And I showed it to a actual professional. When I say professional, I mean the guy that works with Dan Locke, who's like the 2.5 million subscriber guy, and the Asian guy. I talked to his consultant yesterday. I showed him. He's like, man, this is nice, man. This is real nice. This guy's professional. So brother, I want to get his brother proud. I ain't even talk about my class right now. I'm gonna talk about him. That brother, Marvin Novembri.
I'll flip it back on.
Let me finish. This brother is the drunken master of listen, look here, man. You ever know the Kung Fu movie where the dude get drunk and then he just kick everybody's ass? Maurice, I'm telling you, but he on it, bro. Don't let him play you. If you need any work done, get at Maurice. Any type of digital content, any type of way, marketing, go by this brother, man. I got him work. I think he's working with Dynasty Mir now, and his stuff looks. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. He's that dude. When I heard O'Shea say it, I was like, Maurice. I met him through Maurice, but this dude, he was a godsend, man. And then what make it so bad, I'm gonna say this too. He came to me like he just called me when we talked the first time. It's like, man, I got your number. I think he got it from you, O'Shea. Called me. He was like, look, bro, I just like what you're doing. I just want to help you. Man, you ain't get, you just pay me $6, man, $7 an hour. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, man, you look, man, just give me $20, $30, man. I just want to help you, brother. It ain't even it's about helping people. And he has been true to his word. He has kept his word, showed up. He hasn't. I'm for real, man. Call you very expedient. If he can't make a deadline, he'll text you. Hey, man, I know we said 5 o'clock. I'm busy right now. Can we push it to 8? Can we cool? But I mean, he's professional. So when we're talking about people not doing what they're supposed to do, there are black brothers out here that will do what they're supposed to do and are excellent at what they do, because he's very excellent at what he does. And I didn't mean anything when I said I didn't expect it. I expect good, not great. That's what I meant.
No. I say that because I know when it comes with us, that's you. It's sad to say, bro, but because other folk has left bad taste in our mouth when it comes to other folk. When I show up with a little bit more professionalism and I give you what I give to white folk, people just blown away by it. But I do this every day for a full-time job. So why can't I not extend that to my brothers? You know what I mean? So also, like I flip back on Sub, like Sub's the millionaire who ain't catch his check yet. Man, the way this brother be formulating and planning and plotting and navigating, I'm as humbled to be walking with him in this journey to put his multi-million-dollar business together, bro. I'm just humbled to be at the table helping out any way I can because I'm learning a lot from the experience myself. But yeah, man, it's just good to be among folk who are moving forward on things. And Sub has been an inspiration to me because like I see he put his IT academy together. I tutor, I mentor all the time, but I never charge for it. He got me rethinking the game. Like, how do we enter this multi-billion-dollar tech training industry? He got skill sets, I got skill sets. There's maybe something I can learn from his efforts and maybe apply it to my own thing later on, or to help him get to the next level and learn by osmosis through that process. But yeah, man, it's been really humbling to work with O'Shea, Sub-Zero. Dynas has been a really interesting person to work with because like he's another brother who's a millionaire who ain't catching a check yet, and it's interesting to kind of be helping folk put the pieces together in their infrastructure. So I appreciate you for giving me the call out, man. I really do. But bro, you doing big things, man. You actually are pulling people into the IT industry with what you're doing, and then you got a real good, you're a really good teacher, really good teacher.
Oh man, you ain't have to say that, man. Hey, I felt like I wanted to say it because it's like I come here all the time and talk about, hey, Lifting the Veil IT Academy, you're 50, they get that 6-figure salary. But at the same time, Maurice, I know I never talked about this, brother. My emblem, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing he's basically taken, we went to ClickFunnels, what, about 2 weeks ago? Yeah. And we pretty much then built the whole thing out, and just listening to other people, it probably could have cost me upwards of, $5,000-$6,000 to get this stuff done, man. You know what I'm saying? To get all the, you go on Upwork and hire a graphic designer, the level of work that he's doing, because I go on Fiverr, I go on Upwork, and I see what people's work looks like. These people want $75, $150, $200 sometimes an hour, and they brag about who they've worked with. And I'm like, man, you know what? This brother here his work is on par with those people. So I ain't just saying this. I've actually shopped around. Like I've been on the phone with people that have built $1 billion companies because I'm spending money I'm learning. My learning curve is changing. Yeah. And I'll call them, and this is what I like. I'll call Maurice and say, hey, let's do this. I'm gonna go to Kajabi and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And then I'll go somewhere and my mind will get blown. I'll be like, man, I'm doing it backwards. I need to revamp this whole thing. And he a good camper. He'll be like, all right, man, let's do it. And this before I was paying him, but I wasn't really throwing him that much. Now I'm like, man, I got to really pay this brother, man, because he's putting time in. Yeah, I was like, okay, he might do he did a logo, then he did like a couple other things, but it wasn't a lot. But then he went and redid this whole thing. I said, man, I got to pay you, brother. I'm gonna give you a good professional hourly rate. We're gonna do this the right way. I'm gonna make sure that you on board with this thing. So that's what we've been talking about.
Yeah, and bro, like I know for us to enter that, because like the whole with this virus that's out there, the online training industry is about to become $1 billion market. Sub-Zero is one of the few brothers I know who is actually a few weeks away from entering it. I know that when he enters that marketplace, we got to make sure his brand is on point. We got to make sure, because ideally he's going to be competing with Indian, Asian, American, European, African content producers. And we got to represent when we get into the field, because there's a lot of money on the table and there's enough to eat for everybody. And also it gets more of us into the IT industry.
But I was scared. I was scared, bro. I was up like till Thursday night with a light in my face, filming in front of a whiteboard that I bought. And I'm literally showing my face and talking on the camera, which is something I didn't want to do because I don't even show it on my channel for real. But I'm standing, so I'm really stepping out on faith in this thing. Yeah, and I've kind of needed people like Maurice and a few other people that I've worked with to try to help me really get out there, because it's scary because I'm doing something I ain't never done before. So it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I had a young lady hit me up on LinkedIn because
Y'all got it. I don't mean to rush y'all, but y'all know it's about 5 a.m. here.
Oh, so yeah. So
I gotta feed this shit up now.
No, we'll wrap it up. So yeah, but in closing, yeah, man, it's a blessing to work with everybody. I'm just really humbled, man. It's just like, like what you said in the beginning, O'Shea, not in my time, in God's time. I'm just being submissive to the process. Whoever God bring me, I'm gonna give him my all. And it's been fruitful, man. It's been extremely fruitful. So I'll leave it there.
And what I'm gonna do, shout out to Brother Tony. I'm gonna take the last clip. I'm gonna do a podcast on this last part that you brothers, Sub-Zero giving you the shout out, and I'm gonna do a content on this. Shout out to Tony. And again, I was the one that Maurice. I first found out how his work was. I recommended him to everybody. Now Maurice is the best person that you can get for branding, anything like that. I'm gonna rebrand my content, rebrand the Negro Manosphere. I'm gonna go through him for all of that. Maurice is the best person. Yeah, he's the best person for sure. So we're gonna do some big things in for the rest of the year. Probably starting in May, I'm gonna do my rebranding for the site. But let me go let Brother Ali close us out, and then we're gonna go. Shout out to Brother Gabe. For I just woke up, fellas. Game. See him tomorrow. What's up, Audrey? Good brother Ali.
Brothers, let's just keep growing. Let's keep connecting. Let's keep networking. Let's continue to get better, and let's continue to change the narrative that Black men are productive, Black men are successful, Black men are uplifting, and Black men do work with each other. So let's keep it going.
All right. Shout out to my brother Nick Penn. And again, I do thank you, brother Sub-Zero and Maurice. Like I said, we really got to start to appreciate the brothers that are doing the work. And brother Maurice, I can assure you, my Black Men Are Perfect shirts. If you bought one, I know brother Nicholas, he has one on his Instagram profile.
Solid,
Maurice Novembri is the one that designed that. He designed the Kingana logo that we use for. I actually have a Kingana shirt on right now with your logo on it.
I gotta talk to you about reanimating that logo because I got a post-production background, so I gotta talk to you about that. We gonna have to circle back around. Yep.
Yeah, no, just I'll call you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
We'll talk about it. So again, Maurice, let me just put your email up here real quick.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll put it in there.
Maurice Novembri @gmail.com. And one of the things about my platform that I like is I like to I don't ever ask nobody for no hookup commission fee. Put you on. I don't do that. I like to use my platform to bring Black men together. That's one thing that I'm here to do. I serve this community. So I try to do that and try to connect brothers. Any last words from any of you guys before we close out?
No, thank you, O'Shea and his team for having these panel discussions and these talks, man. It's been helping me grow as an individual. So I really appreciate you, O'Shea, and all the brothers on the panel.
All right. Anything, brother?
Same here, man. Glad that I enjoyed it. O'Shea, you the man. That's all I got to say. Can't wait for this convention we gonna throw in that.
Negro, you got all kind of money. I'm trying to be like you. I'm broke. Shit. Brother Ali.
Hey, I'm happy to be to grace the stage with all these wonderful brothers. Look forward to doing it again.
All right. Okay. Brother Nick, hit me up on the WhatsApp, brother. I got it. Nick, I'm going to send you my new number, man. I'm going to send you my new number. All right. And guys, thank you so much. Anybody need my number? Like they can't get a hold of me? Where I'm at right now, my iPhone, seems like this African internet don't like my iPhone number. So if you're a brother and you have my WhatsApp number and you can't get a hold of me on my regular iPhone number, just email me and I'll send you my WhatsApp on the data. Brother Sub-Zero has my new number. So anybody needs to get my number, just let me know. Peace out.
All right, have a good night.
All right.
Peace.